So today I want to talk about how you can meditate. As I've said in my previous video, there are a lot of ways through which you can meditate. First, I would like to talk about what meditation actually is. And there are a lot of meaning to meditation, but I feel meditation is all about living in the present and focusing on the present moment. A lot of the time our mind goes back and forth between the present, the past and the future. This is the reason why a lot of our actions are so unconscious, and this creates worry and tension. One of my favorite lines from the book Power of Now by Ekhart Tolle is, "Thought cannot exist without consciousness, but consciousness does not require thought." The more you are in tune with yourself, the happier you are, and that is what meditation is all about. So coming back to the question, how can you meditate? Well, there are a lot of ways you can meditate. Maybe on a chair, floor or bed. You can meditate while walking, washing dishes. You can even meditate while taking a shower or listening to music. There are no limitations really. But obviously the optimal way is to cross your legs and sit on the floor with your eyes closed. This is the best way to meditate because there is a less chance of distraction. And you'll be distracted a lot of time when you start out. So I highly recommend starting with this form. As you start to invest longer time in your practice, there are really no limitations. So you can start out with focusing on your breathing. If that is hard, you can focus on music. Just try to focus on each and every detail. The concept is to focus your mind on one thing, as the monks called it the monkey mind. I recommend going out to the nature while meditating. I found that you can stay longer in your practice when you focus on birds and the air that blows through your body. But if you do not have access to a clean environment, it is still okay to do it in your room. There's not an optimal place to meditate really. And there's no optimal time you can meditate. You can do it whenever you want. You just have to make sure that you make it a daily thing. You can meditate in the morning after you wake up, in the evening, in the afternoon. There is no limitation. Just pick the best time that is best for you. And there's really no limitation on how long you meditate. It differs from people to people. But I would recommend starting small. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes at first. After a while it gets easier. Also at first I would recommend setting a timer in order to stop you from constantly checking your watch for how long it has been. And time really seems to move slow when you meditate. At first it will be really hard, as you are not really used to doing nothing. A lot of thoughts will pour in all at once, and it can overwhelm you. It would be like someone opening a floodgate in your mind. There will be a lot of emotions coming in all at once. Some emotions may be of anger or stress of life, or sometimes really weird ones. But the idea is to not judge your thoughts. A lot of the time you'll be lost in your own thoughts. And that's completely natural. After you have invested longer time in your practice, a lot of those thoughts will disappear automatically. Just don't criticize yourself for having a negative emotion. One of the examples is that you may be really angry at someone and you do not really want to be, because he may be a really good friend or a brother, and sometimes you might not even know the reason behind your anger. That is it. Just don't judge it. Say to the thought, and this is what I like to do. Okay thought, stay there. I'll just focus on my breathing while you stay there. And that thought slowly disappears. And another thought might pop up. Again, ask the thought to stay there and focus on your breathing. Just don't criticize yourself for moving back and forth between your thought and focus. When you start out, this will happen a lot. There will be more thoughts and less consciousness, and it is very natural. As you spend longer time in your practice, this will be reversed. You'll start to have more consciousness and less thoughts. While you're trying to focus on your breathing, try to focus on your inhalation and exhalation, and every aspect of it, how your stomach contracts or expands, how the breath feels. It is really important that you focus on each and every detail, as it will help you to not get distracted easily. That is why I recommend going out to the nature or any place where there is fresh air. But the most important thing is that you make it a daily practice. You can focus on your breathing while walking or sitting on a bench, and that is meditation simply. There are a lot of other things that you start to feel as you spend longer time in your practice, and I would like you to figure that out on yourself, because I believe that the feeling is different for everyone. For now, you can just focus on your practice, and as you start to go deeper into your practice, and I promise you'll never like to leave home without meditating. So guys, that is it for today. If you have any questions, you can leave it down on the comment section below, or you can email me. I promise to reply to them as quickly as possible. Subscribe for future videos. For now, have an amazing day, guys.